Good afternoon, everyone. Update here on the African swine fever reporting across Asia. Map for you to glimpse at. Chinese pork production down 35%. That's as much as the entire annual U.S. pork production itself. Weekly USA pork exports up 3 times to the highest it's ever been before. And also this image off Feeder Flash. Do you think our crops are going to be delayed planting this season? And please visit My Patriot Supply, long-term food storage, water filtration, dehydrators, and other accessories to help you get ready for the grand solar minimum. Every purchase you make at My Patriot Supply helps keep ADAPT 2030 on air and independent, bringing you information just like this. The link's in the description box below the video. Just click and go. Jumping over here, Michelman, thanks for the lead up on Twitter. Prices of bacon to rocket as African swine flu hits China. That's actually an understatement because even though the world can produce more pork, China will voraciously take in every kilogram that's available across the planet at the moment to alleviate the shortages. Citizens are getting angry, asking a lot of questions why the Chinese government can't control the African swine fever outbreak. FC Stone putting out this new map here. You see the hot spots? And everywhere you see a circle is reported, verified outbreaks, but the larger the circle, obviously, the more incidences. And it's really quirky how it's just so isolated to China that not even one case has migrated to any of those other countries in Asia. I don't know if there's damage control to try to limit the fear or what, but it's just so consolidated that I almost can't believe it. My personal opinion, you can agree or disagree, but here's the new map that's just out. Also off of Reuters Ag News, 200 million pigs to be culled. Now I need to put this into perspective for you here because China consumes about 28% of the world's meat and half of the pork globally. So it's not just a little bit of pork and hey, they're going to be looking for a couple extra pigs out there to make some bacon. No, they gobble up literally half the world's pork every year. So National Hog Farmer put some really good statistics out. So Chinese pork production is going to plummet about 35%. These numbers are very conservative. They're talking about culling every single pig in the country, so 35% is a pretty conservative estimate. And even with that, 30 to 35% is actually larger than the entire U.S. pork production for an entire year. And as well, put that into perspective, that's the entire pork production for Europe in a single year. So you don't think that pork prices are going to go up as the Chinese start scouring the planet looking for pork? The citizens inside China are asking a lot of questions right now. A, how is it that you guys over there, leaders of the government of China, the omnipotent, can't control this virus? That it's so deadly that every single animal it gets into, 100% fatality, mortality rate in it. How can they not control that? Now food prices are going berserk, and a lot of people are asking questions. Hey, I can't get meat. And when I do get it, it's 4 or 5 times more price. What's going on? Why can't that be controlled? Omnipotent ones. So I'm going to bring you over here to Feeder Flash. That's Corbett Wall. Puts these out daily. If you're looking for information on beef and pork, this is definitely your one-stop shop. One of the best YouTube channels to get you into the markets to see what's going on with beef and cattle as well as pork. This is a slide that he had on the April 12th update. Weekly USA pork export sales and shipments to China. Notice that huge red spike. That's the most that's ever been exported out to China ever. So something's definitely going on in terms of supply demand currently. And I pulled this off of FC Stone report. I want to take you to the right side there, pork versus beef. And we see at the left side of the chart, that's November of 2017. You're following the beef prices up and up. Now the pork prices are going to catch up with us quickly and surpass that. They're just going to skyrocket. So consumer inflation in China is running out of control for food. And I knew this was going to be one of the catalysts for the downfall of China this time around during this grand solar minimum. Every grand solar minimum, China collapses. There's no way around it. The intertropical convergence zone shifts, thereby affecting the monsoon patterns, and that in turn affects the amount of water that comes down or does not come down. So the Heilongjiang northern area, going to be going offline. It's already starting to, crop yields are down across the board. If you take a look at all grains in China down this year. So case in point here, this is just hog pricing, and that'll move right over into the pork pricing. The least amount of increase is in Jilin, that's far up at the north, where you see that blue box at 11% increases in food prices. And this is just since September of 2018. But you look places like in Hangzhou, and that would be bordering right over into Shanghai, 25% increase in your meat price. And as well, everything else is rising there. You know, grain yields are down. So prices are up in grain. Prices are up in meat. But everybody's wages are static. They haven't moved, haven't budged upward, but everything else circulating around in the society that you need to stay alive, such as food, keeps going up in price. Now, with the economic downturn in China happening, new laws passed where central government says businesses cannot go out of business anymore. They won't actually let them file for bankruptcy. So they have to keep running at a loss. And we're going to start seeing more and more of these types of things as the economy stagnates and contracts, because people are going to spend more money on food moving into the grand solar minimum than they would on regular consumer spending products. This scares me a little bit because this is the future of our food supply. This is pork from China. Absolutely guaranteed, 100% contaminated with the swine flu. Somebody in China packed this up, put it in containers, and sent 1 million pounds of virus-contaminated pork to New Jersey. It's the largest seizure of this kind in the United States. So somebody made the conscious choice in China, knowing that those pigs were contaminated. They died already from the virus. Yet they decided to process them and turn them into the pork that you were going to eat. This is the level when it comes down to businesses go out of business or they sell contaminated product to stay in business. And this is the map I put together back in 2017. Those red circles are where the grain losses are occurring right now. It wasn't rocket science to put this together because this is exactly where the grain production collapsed during the Ming Dynasty, during the Yuan Dynasty, during the Tang Dynasty. During every grand solar minimum, agriculture falls out in these exact same places. It's happening again. They're having difficulty growing food, and look what's happening with our planting season right now. That blizzard that rolled over through Nebraska, etc., delaying planting once again, right on top of all those record floods. And this is out of the Feeder Flash video from April 12th. He was stating that it was 50 degrees the day prior, and then whoosh, the blizzard moved in and dropped this much snow, whiteout conditions, Wyoming all the way to Nebraska. And these are the types of conditions we are facing globally, every continent. So you don't think food prices are going to start rising? Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. Please take the time to visit another sponsor that helps keep this channel on air. TrueLeafMarket.com, heirloom and organic seeds for any grow zone on the planet. Remember, you're going to have to learn how to grow food and store it. Process it so you can keep it for a longer amount of time. This is a great place to start. Grow something this season. Experiment with it. Because the further we get into this grand solar minimum intensification, which is really expected to ramp up 2019, 2021, food prices are just going to continue to escalate like we're seeing around the planet. Good luck. And you can also catch 30 minutes at a time on the go, Mini Ice Age Conversations podcast, more in-depth analysis of these same issues. And follow me over on Minds.com, the alternative to Facebook, free speech platform, and I'll see you next video.